Well, welcome everybody to the Tuesday night. This is the fourth Tuesday of the month, and we have what we call product information calls, in which you also get to hear some testimonies about what's happening in people's lives on this call. We have somebody on the call that's on the moderator line. If you want to mute out your phone because there's background noise coming in, just press the mute button on your phone, and then when we call on you, you can unmute it, or press *6, either one. I want to welcome everybody to the call that's here. I want to especially welcome those of you that are guests on the call. You're about to hear about a product that we introduced just recently that is taking literally the country by storm. It's working so well. People are so excited about it, and you're going to hear some testimonies about what it's done for people tonight. And then plus our entire other line of products, which for some time now have been changing the lives of people. So you're in for a big surprise, those of you that are guests tonight. In fact, somebody asked you to be on this call because, you see, they have experienced something in their life that they would like you to experience. They are having a change in their health, or a change in their wealth, or a change in both. And they want you, that's right, they thought about you, and they want you to experience that in your life. And so we, again, want to welcome you here. And I wanted to say that for this reason. As soon as this call's over, you're going to want to get together with that individual and say, look, I want more information if you don't have enough, or you need to call them and say, look, I need to get in this thing like right now. And they'll help you get started. So I'm not going to carry on the show here very long. I get to introduce a fellow that I got to know. I actually heard about him way back in the middle 90s, actually used this product that we call Aqualite now. It wasn't called that back then. And the company that I bought it from ended up going out of business. I wasn't a member of that company, but I bought it from one of their distributors, and then I lost track of it. But I remembered this fellow's name. And in 2015, one of my distributors came to me and said, somebody needs to mute out their phone. Hang on. Whoever is on the moderator line, there's some background noise, and you need to mute out your phone. All righty. But I got to meet this individual over the telephone and talk to him about this company he had called Basic Reset and about this product called Aqualite. And I told him that I knew him from before. I knew who he was, let's put it that way. And we visited a lot, and pretty soon we became really good friends. And we visited almost every day, many times a day, on the telephone and talked about this company called Basic Reset. And I told him one day, I said, Fred, I said, this is my home. This is where I'm going to be from now until the day comes when either the company is called home or I'm called home, one of the two. And I absolutely love it here. And the reason for that is, and I just want to say this before I introduce him, is because this company meets every qualification that I've always wanted to see in a home-based business. And that qualification, the two main ones are this. Number one, we don't charge people to ask them to have them be in business with us. We don't ask them to pay us for the privilege of marketing our products. We just say, look, we got some wonderful products, and we'd love to have you on board and market them for us. And we do that. And then we go one step further. We don't ask them to pay us every month for the privilege of having us qualify them or pay them. Which, when you think about it, it's really kind of stupid, isn't it? Just imagine if the guy that you bought your house from, if he sold houses during the month, and the realty company said to him, boy, you sold 3 new houses this month. You made a really nice commission, but guess what? We can't pay it to you because you didn't buy your own house. Well, you would say, Randy, that's completely ludicrous. Of course it is. But in the network marketing industry, they seem to think that it's the proper thing to do. We don't do that here. We're a pioneer, folks. And so you can literally start in business with our company with no money in your pocket. You know, we talk about how this is the land of milk and honey here. This is the country of opportunity. Well, we truly can give you that opportunity right now. And the guy that started this company, the guy that's behind all of this, is a fellow by the name of Fred Kaufman. And he started all this with one goal in mind, and that was to get these products into the hands of as many people as he could in his lifetime, and do it in such a way that people could get them without being charged an arm and a leg, and yet make a livable income. So he took these commission rates that these companies are paying over 9 or 10 levels, and he compressed it initially down into 3 levels and actually pays everybody 35% commission on level 1, which means if you didn't get paid on anything else, you literally could go out and sell these products and make a livable income, because every time somebody orders, you get that 35% commission over and over and over. So if you just had that and just did this and just went and did it every day like like you would working an 8-hour-a-day job, well, that commission would just compound and compound and compound. How'd you like to go to the bank and have them compound your interest at 35% every month? Well, guess what happens if you earn 35% commission? It's kind of like that. Every month, that same commission comes in and over, and you add to it, and adds more. I would say you had a pretty good idea. So with that, I get to introduce a fellow that's become a very close friend of mine, a fellow that I admire and that I'll work with the rest of my life. His name is Fred Kaufman, and Fred's going to introduce some wonderful people to you tonight. There's some stories to tell you. Fred, you've got the floor, my friend. Are you there? I lost Fred. Somehow, okay, well, he'll get back on the line, so I think I lost him. Hang on. Just hang on, folks. We got a technical difficulty here. I don't know where Fred is. I went through all there. Well, he shows that he's on the line. Fred, are you there? We don't hear you.
No, I'm here.
Okay, good. The floor is yours.
Okay, I apologize for that. I don't know what happened. Technical difficulties. We just love computers and all the technology that's made our lives easier, but every once in a while, things kind of goof up a little bit. Well, welcome everybody to the call. We appreciate you giving up your time. We know it's precious to be on the call with us tonight, but we are doing these calls again not for the purpose of telling you that our products are a remedy for anything. Even our new TrimUp product is not a remedy for weight loss. It's a product that has ingredients in it that help your body to perform in a natural way. In other words, we find through experience that it's not always about patching a crack in a wall. Oftentimes, it's about looking at the foundation and see if there's any cracks down there. Because if you have cracks in your foundation, the walls are definitely going to show cracks. And patching the cracks is only going to be a temporary fix. It's not until you address the foundation that you finally stop the cracks from appearing. We call that in the business of nutrition prevention. So we can't even say that. And you know how our government is. You're going to have to read between the lines, as I say, to understand what we're expressing with these testimonials. In other words, we can't say the person, or the person who's giving the testimonial, rather, can't say, I had XYZ wrong with me, and now after being on Basic Reset products, I'm totally healed. We can't say that we had this disease or that disease, and now it's gone. We can't even say the doctor said he doesn't want me to take the medications anymore because I don't need them. It's not my choice. It's the choice of our government, and I'm not going to get on my soapbox, rather, to say why I think that's wrong. So you have to realize when these people are talking about their experiences with the products, they have been told not to say any of those things. So you use your own judgment and listen to the testimonials in the person's own words, and you decide if what they're saying is an indication that maybe this would be worth giving it a try. Not because they're telling of something that you may be also dealing with, but rather this whole idea that when you look at the simplicity of what we're providing and how it allows your body to go to work and start to become more normal again. That's the point of these testimonial calls. We do not sell remedies. There are companies out there that do. I know of a company that has over 500 remedies, but you've got to know about each and every one of their products to know which benefit you're going to get, which symptoms you have, and which product to take for that particular symptom. Those are remedies, and we don't sell remedies. We sell products that are going to help your body to work the way it was designed to work. And we believe that that's because of deficiencies. The reason that you maybe have the problems that you have is because you're missing something. There's a deficiency. And so we want to talk to you about the people who have taken our products and let them, in their own words, tell you how becoming more sufficient has helped their bodies to get back more towards normal. So without further ado, I want to bring on our first testimonial, which is from a woman that I talked to who had a very interesting experience with TrimUp, and her name is Shelly Hargis. Are you on the phone, Shelly? If you have your phone muted, you have to unmute it. Okay, maybe something happened. So we're going to come back to Shelly. We have another lady on the phone. We're going to have different testimonials tonight, not all just about TrimUp, but those are going to be the largest percentage of our testimonials. Donna Usaya, are you on the phone?
I am, Fred.
Okay. Donna, go ahead and tell me what you related to me about your experience with, I believe it was just the Aqualite Nianite?
That's correct.
Okay. Go ahead.
Okay. It was a pretty interesting story, actually. I looked at Aqualite Nianite for about 3 months before I decided to try it. And I saw some immediate changes in my health. Within just a matter of a few days, I started feeling better. Things that had plagued me were disappearing. I told Fred that, unfortunately for me, cardiac runs in the family. But after being on A&I, a lot of the things that were going wrong with me just stopped. It really enabled my system to heal itself, and I'm just so in awe of these products that I can't say enough about what it did for my health in such a short period of time. And I know after doing this and seeing such incredible things that I never, ever want to be without this product ever again, because my health has been turned back to what it was 25 years ago. You know, before I had to take medications for some kind of complicated things. So I wish I had done this so much sooner. I have a friend.
Well, Donna, that's great.
About
yes, Donna,
days.
you.
Is that enough?
You were telling me about a friend of yours that had a really bad motorcycle accident.
He did, and I met him on the third day that I had my A&I. And he had no skin left on his arm from his wrist to his elbow. He went down on the road and literally took all of the skin off of his arm, so it was down to tissue. And it was horrible when he showed it to me. And it was just a day and a half after his accident. So I asked him to please try the Ionite. I told him the differences I had seen, and I knew that it was just really healing, so it couldn't hurt him any. So I asked him to put the drops in his water for 3 days, spray it on his arm for 3 days, and I'd come back and check on him. And when I came back and checked on him, he had what looked like new skin on his arm from wrist to elbow. There was not a mark or a scratch or anything that would have ever showed that he had gone down the bike and literally peeled off all of his skin. I was so amazed by that because it was a light pink, healthy, like baby skin is what it looked like. And he was so happy. He was jumping up and down. But it was a miracle to me that it could help, his body heal that quickly by giving him the right nutrients. So it was just a huge visual. So
that is amazing. And we have pictures of a man that I actually knew from the company Randy was mentioning earlier that had used the ionite after he had burned his face. And it's the same kind of thing. You just can't even believe that that's possible, that a person could grow back new skin so quickly. But it is possible. Again, it's not anything that these products do. It's that they provide your cells with what they need so they can do what they need to do. And you were mentioning also, Donna, about an injury to your leg.
Oh, the gash in my leg, my very first morning that I had taken nothing more than 4 drops of ionite the night before because I had just gotten it. And it was early morning, and I tried to shave my leg, and I didn't gash it. I actually gouged it, deep gouge. So I took layers of skin off, and it just bled everywhere. I thought, oh, no. So my ionite was in my kitchen. So I put a face cloth on it, hopped out there in one leg, back to the bathroom I went. And I've never had a cut where I've gouged it so deep it just bled all over my sink. It was such a mess. So I figured I'd put it to the test and see what happened. And I put 2 drops on this gash. It was about 1.25 inches long and about 1/4 inch wide at least. And it was deep. So when I put 2 drops on it, it literally started closing this gash right in front of me. So I started counting seconds. And I counted no more than 5 or 6 seconds when it healed from the outside all the way to the inside of the gash. And by the 6th second, it had totally stopped bleeding, and it had just a tiny drop of blood. And that was it. It turned it pink. The next day, it was white. The 3rd day, there was not even a mark where a scar should have been or a huge scab. Nothing. So to have it heal it.
That is absolutely amazing. And, we see this happen all the time. It becomes routine for us. But if there's anyone new on the call, these testimonials are going to seem absolutely hard to imagine that it would be possible for something so safe and so non-toxic as a liquid mineral product. But this is exactly what we've been experiencing, my wife and I, for the last 20 years. So, and Donna, I appreciate you being on and giving that testimonial. And Kim told me that Shelley Hargis is back on the line. Are you there, Shelley? Shelley? If you've got your phone on mute, you might need to unmute it. Okay, well, we'll come back if Shelley...
Brad?
Pardon?
She's on the call.
Okay, I can't hear her talking.
I can't hear her talking either. She needs to press *6. Oh, okay, I think she's going to... I'm communicating with her on Facebook.
Okay.
All right, you might as well go to the next one. She can't hear, but she only has a few minutes left on her call plan. So
yeah, well, tell her to hang up, and I'll get her on another 3-way.
Okay. All right.
Okay. All right. So, Randy, you had someone that you were talking to me about today that had used the TrimUp, a good friend of yours. Do you want to introduce him?
Yes, I sure will. Thank you very much. Yes, I have a very good friend, fellow that I've known now for, oh my gosh, I don't know if he got off the ark first or if I did, but we've known each other for a great number of years. And we've been in network marketing together for a long time, and he ordered his TrimUp, and he got it just, I think, the day before Christmas or a couple of days before. I can't remember. But he started taking it, and I asked him this morning how he did, and I was absolutely astounded. I'm going to let him tell you his story. His name is Richard Evanson. Richard, you're on the phone?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can. Go ahead and tell us what's happened with you. I mean, what amazed me about your story is that over the Christmas holidays is when you really started this thing, and you even didn't take it one day. Tell us what went on.
Well, first of all, I've known Randy, I figured it out today, 21 years, and we were with a company when we first met that had a product. It was the original product similar to TrimUp, and it was amazing. It made you feel good and took your appetite away, and a lot of people, it helped with their size. So I was excited to get TrimUp, got it the middle of last week, and of course Christmas was over the weekend, and if you know Kelly, the kitchen was full of goodies and food all weekend. We had family over, and it was nonstop eating. And in fact, in our kitchen right now, there's several trays of cookies and candy and fudge, and I've lost 2.5 pounds. And that was amazing. But I just noticed tonight, I took 2 TrimUps this morning, didn't have much to eat all day. I was busy, and I guess I wasn't feeling like I had to eat. And like I said, we have treats all over the house. Tonight, Kelly made a omelet with some ham and green pepper and onions, fabulous tasting meal, and we both got partially done with our plates and looked at each other and laughed. We couldn't finish. So I'm excited because I've tried for years to get back to the way I used to look about 30 years ago, and it's very hard work. I think with TrimUp, it's a tool that we can use along with careful eating, that it can have a really good effect on people. So appreciate being able to share that, Randy.
I appreciate you, Richard. Thank you very much for being on, and I can attest because I've been on a video call with him where he has shown me all these treats that are laying around the house, and I don't know, I don't know how he, it's just absolutely astounding. And so that's really cool. Think about this. He lost 2.5 pounds. I've been on the product about 4 days. Didn't take it one of the days of the Christmas holiday. It's absolutely astounding. And before I turn the call over to Fred, Shelley, I think you're on the line now. Did you get unmuted?
Excuse me, Randy, can we unmute her on our end?
I did. She's unmuted. She's unmuted.
Okay.
I have unmuted her.
Shelley, are you there?
You need to press star 6 on your phone.
Shelley, are you there? We see your number on here, but we can't hear you. If you're trying to talk, maybe your phone is still muted, but you're unmuted on our side. So, okay, well, we're going to move on, and God bless you, Shelley. We'll get you on another call. Now we're going to go to a man who was on our last call, and he had an amazing testimony. In fact, it just seemed to go on and on and on. There were so many things that our products have helped him with. In particular, he was talking about the Aqualite, the Ionite, and the Vibrant. But in the meantime, he's ordered the TrimUp, and he's been using that. And I was so excited to hear what TrimUp has done for him. James Seal, are you on the line?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, James, go ahead and tell people what you told me earlier today.
Well, one thing I didn't tell you is that I've spent hundreds of dollars looking for something that works and never really found anything that worked. And I'm really amazed at TrimUp because I only need one in the morning, just one. I take it before I eat breakfast. And I go ahead and eat my breakfast, and it's just amazing. I'm just not hungry all morning. And I've got so much energy. My mood is very pleasant. I'm in a very pleasant mood. And I suffer with PTSD, so that means the world to me. I got that effect from the ionic water, and also from the Vibrant. So and just eat a little bit of lunch. And in the afternoon, about 2 o'clock, I go ahead and do my Vibrant, and it just carries me the whole day. And in the evening, I just eat a sensible, normal supper, and the pounds are just falling off. My clothes are loose. I'm going to have to go buy new clothes. And this is really amazing to me that it's working so well and so fast. And
James, that is just amazing. And you're saying that you're only taking one TrimUp a day?
Yes, only one.
That
2 was a
amazing.
little too much for me. I tried 2, but it really zapped me up. And so 1 for me just works out fine. And it's amazing because I'm 6'6" and about 400 pounds. So whatever you put in there, it's just the right combination with the water and a Vibrant in the afternoon. The energy that you feel, you know that your body's burning the fat away. You know, the energy is coming from somewhere. So where else can it be coming from if it's not burning your excess fat? Because you're certainly not eating a lot of food. And so I had a talk one day with my TrimUp because I had picked 2 hamburgers. I always eat 2 hamburgers when I sit down to eat hamburgers, and I only ate 1. And I just couldn't eat the other one. And I just felt, I had a Hershey bar sitting there, and I said, now, TrimUp, you're not going to stop me from eating this Hershey bar. There's just no way. But just one little bite of the Hershey bar, really, and I felt totally satisfied. And that was just so amazing. I just said, TrimUp, you win, You win. I put that candy bar in the refrigerator for later. That's amazing.
Well, that is really interesting. Well, there's a lot of different things going on at the same time. I was talking to someone today about the formula, and they were asking me, for example, why was there white willow bark in there? Now, white willow bark, if you don't know the history, it goes back to what doctors used to use before there were all these synthetic drugs for pain. They would prescribe people taking white willow bark. It's an herb. And it's just what it says. It's the bark of a white willow tree. And so that's what doctors used in the old days. If you came in and had a headache, for example, they would tell you to take so much white willow bark until you got rid of your pain or other kinds of aches and pains. And you might be wondering, why would we have white willow bark in there? Well, we don't really know exactly what the white willow bark is doing, but we do know that it's just like the recipe of a cake. You don't really know what all the ingredients do, but it's the combination of the ingredients that give that deliciousness to a cake. And that's exactly what's happening with the TrimUp. All of the ingredients work together. When you take any one of the ingredients out, you don't have a cake anymore. You have the same problem with the TrimUp. If you take out any of the ingredients, all of a sudden the formula doesn't work. So you can look at the ingredients, the Garcinia cambogia, for example. There have been a lot of companies out there selling Garcinia cambogia. But the reality is, my wife and I and many other people I know have taken Garcinia cambogia by itself. It didn't do a thing. We have the green tea extract. Now, there have been some people that said that they had some help with their weight taking green tea extract. Never did a thing for me. There's chromium. Chromium by itself, if you take a large enough amount of it, which can border on being unsafe, if you take too much of it, it might have an effect on your cravings or your blood sugar. But it's the little bit of chromium, the little bit of L-carnitine, the little bit of dandelion root, the little bit of these other ingredients all put together is what makes this formula work. Again, if we took any of these ingredients by itself, you might not get any benefit at all or very little. But when you put them together, we have created a powerhouse. And that's exactly what people are telling us. Almost every single day, we are getting bombarded with testimonials of people telling us, wow, you have got a home run there with the TrimUp. That's the most amazing weight management product I've ever taken. And these are people who have struggled for years and years trying to manage their weight and tried many, many different products out there, even some of these individual ingredients that we have combined together in the TrimUp, but they didn't get the help that they wanted. So, again, I can't explain to you, just like Randy used to call me up, why does the iodine do what it does? I can tell you some things, but I can't tell you everything because I just don't know. But does it really matter? If you had to understand electricity before you turned on a light switch, you'd be living in the dark. Because even to this day, scientists don't fully understand electricity. But that didn't stop people from using electricity to power our world and give us light and so many other things. So Kim in the background was working to get Shelley Hargis on the phone. Shelley, are you there?
Yes, can you hear me?
I can hear you now. Yay, Shelley's here.
Yay. Boy, that was fun.
Okay, Shelley, you were telling me an interesting testimonial, and you told me that you didn't have a scale, but you had lost inches. So I'm not going to steal your thunder. Go ahead and tell us your experience with TrimUp.
Okay, thanks a lot. I've been on the TrimUp for 7 days now. I've got a cold, so excuse the way I sound. And it's been amazing. It's really been a life support for me. In my situation, I am requiring a hip replacement. I have a bad right hip. There's no cartilage left. So being physical is really a complicated, issue for me right now. So I really needed something out there that would give me this boost and this help that I needed, this hand up, as I called it. And this was it. I mean, this was so much more than I expected. I started, like I said, 7 days ago, and I'm getting a scale this Friday. My other one broke I had, so it got wet, so it stopped working. But I did measure myself. I got a tape measure for my daughter about 4 days ago, and I measured myself then, and I measured myself today. I was going to wait for a little while, but someone asked me, and so I went ahead and measured myself, and I was so happy to see that I've lost 2 inches around my waist, and it's just amazing. It curbs my appetite. It gives me the energy I need. You can tell something's going on. It's really, really doing amazing things. So I was highly impressed with this. It's nothing like I've ever seen or tried before. It's really amazing, and I'm just so happy with it. I'm looking forward to losing this weight and getting my hip replaced and getting out and being active again.
Well, Shelley, thank you so much for sharing that. And if I'm doing my math correctly, you said you started 7 days ago, but you just measured yourself about 3 days or 3 days ago.
4 days ago.
So we don't.
Yeah.
4 days ago. Okay. So that means that you may have even lost more than that in inches, but you only have record of losing 2 inches, right?
Right. Exactly. That's very possible.
Yeah. And for those of you who are listening to the call and you're thinking, wow, I'd sure like to lose 2 inches, Well, that's 2 notches on a man's belt. That's a lot. Yes. So, Shelley, thank you so much for sharing that with us, and we look forward to hearing more from you in the future. Thank you again.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yes. And so just keep in mind, for those of you who are thinking, well, I'm stepping on the scale, but I don't see much happening, you look in the mirror. What do you see in the mirror? What do your clothes feel like? Are your clothes getting looser? Sometimes we get too focused on measurements of one type, and we're not paying attention to measurements of another type, meaning what you see on the scale might not move much, but if your clothes are feeling looser, what does that tell you? It tells you that you're getting control of your weight, you're managing your weight, and that's what this is all about. Again, it's not a remedy for anything, yet there are other things people are telling us in phone calls we get at the office about what TrimUp is doing for them. It's not just helping with their weight management. It's helping in other areas as well. So, Randy, is it still working for you?
Absolutely. I'm house sitting for a friend of mine that they're gone. They left on the 20th of December, and they'll be gone until the 6th of January, so I'm taking care of their pets. And this house has a lot of treats in it, too. And so at any rate, I've been sneaking some of those once in a while. But the last time I weighed myself, there's no scale here, so I don't know, but I was down 12 pounds, and I just don't have the appetite that I used to. In fact, even here, I'll make something to eat, and I get busy, and I'll throw something together, and I don't think I'm making that much food to start out with, but when I'm eating it, I am just getting full. I'm not able to finish it all, so yes, it's working wonderfully for me. And I just am, I'll tell you what, it's just absolutely unbelievable what this stuff is doing. As a matter of fact, I just had somebody message me when you said this is a home run, and I'm not going to tell you who this person is because I don't want to steal their thunder because they're going to be on one of these calls. But they said to me was, home run is putting it mildly. The person has lost 9 pounds in the last 2 weeks, and they're not really dieting. They're just taking the product. I mean, this is crazy. This stuff is just absolutely wonderful. It's just great, Fred, let me tell you.
Yes, and Kim has a couple words that she wants me to pass along, and it has to do with testimonials on Facebook. And we have some very strict rules because we don't want the government jumping down our back because of doing things that are outside of their boundaries. We find that it's okay if you want to post your TrimUp testimonial, but you cannot take someone else's TrimUp testimonial and post it. It's okay for you with your privilege to freedom of speech under the Constitution to tell what happened to you. Again, we can't talk about, well, I had a disease and now the disease is gone. That would be claiming a cure. We can't do that. The only reason that we can't do that is not because it didn't happen, not because it isn't the truth, but it's because of the classifications of the FDA guidelines, the product that you took or products would have crossed over the line of definition between a dietary supplement and a drug. So that would cause the FDA to say, wait a minute, you're promoting a cure or a remedy and you're not a drug. Only drugs can cure. Now, I know how ridiculous that sounds to you. It sounds ridiculous to me as well. What difference does it make how you get to the place that you want to be with your health, whether it's with a drug or whether it's with a dietary supplement? But that's not how our government sees it, and if we want to keep ourselves free, we have to obey those rules. So you can send anybody you want to the testimonial page to look at testimonials, and There are people who have posted all sorts of testimonials there. That's okay. You can post your testimonial there, but you can't take somebody else's testimonial and share it. So just keep that in mind. We want everybody to enjoy these products. We want to be free to be able to provide these products for you, and we can only do that if we cooperate with the rules. So, Randy, I tell you, this has been another great call. We had our first call last Tuesday on the 13th. This is only our second call, and I tell you what, there are some people that are fired up about these products. And it's so exciting to be involved with a company like Basic Reset, knowing that we're actually helping people and we're changing lives with life-changing products. So, Randy, unless you have something else to say, we're not going to keep people late on the call like we did last time. So if you don't have anything else to add, I think we should just go ahead and end the call. Our next call, I can't give you the date of it because I don't have my new, oh, yes, I do too, my new January calendar. It will be on the 10th of January. I will send out an email reminding you about the call. Don't forget our Thursday night Team Builders call. And if you'll notice, for those of you who read the emails, we're using the same phone number for both calls. The only difference is the calls have different meeting IDs. So just keep that in mind. Same phone number, different meeting ID for the Thursday call versus the Tuesday call. Well, Randy, my friend, I appreciate you as always, and thank you again, everyone, for being on the call, and we hope you all are going to survive the next week of holidays. The roughest one, in my opinion, is coming up on Saturday. So if you're going to enjoy yourself and party to welcome in the new year, just do it responsibly. That's all I can say. So, well, good night, everyone.
Make sure that you have a lot of Vibrant on hand, because if you overindulge when you drink a Vibrant, you'll feel better, I guarantee you.
Yes, isn't that the truth? And also the TrimUp has been known to relieve the calamity of a night of overindulging. So, but always aqualite and ionite, because one of the things that alcohol does is it dehydrates your brain. And that's where the headache comes from, I believe. So, all righty, well, good night, everyone. Be blessed and have a great week, and we look forward to seeing you in the new year. Good night, everyone.
Night.